It's that time again. It's time for another Saturday night special where we talk about everything rockhounding related. I hope you had a fabulous week this week. I had an interesting one. This was an interesting week for me. I got to see some cool stuff, and we'll talk about it, well, tonight. I do have some new acquisitions in the shop that we should talk about. Well, I guess they're in the shop, but they're not going to live in the shop. I got this book in the mail this week. You know, I am quite the cheapskate when it comes to books. I pride myself on my thriftiness and my ability to do some deal hunting, and this came up for sale on eBay, and well, I scooped it up, and we also have a signed copy, which, you know, just the little things like that that kind of matter to me. But anyways, Ultraviolet Light and Fluorescent Minerals. It's an older book from the mid-90s, but I'm looking forward to reading that. It's kind of a small one as far as rock and mineral books go, but that will go on my pile of on-read books, which it's a growing pile. It's a growing pile. Yeah, I gotta start knocking those guys off because, well, I'm currently adding more to that than I'm reading, which, you know, I'm a big reader. You can go check out my reading lists and all the stuff in my book collection on the website, currently rockhounding.com/library, and go find a good book for yourself or your loved one over there. Let's talk about what I saw this week. Now, we drive across the state of Washington quite often for a number of reasons, some of which are rockhounding endeavors and other things are not. This was a not, but we're driving across the state, and we've done it many, many times, and we finally stopped at something that's very cool. The Trees of Stone Interpretive Trail outside of Vantage. Now, here on the channel, we have shown the Interpretive Center, the museum in Vantage, where you can go check out all kinds of amazing petrified wood. It's very, very cool to see. There's some big specimens sitting outside, which you can go to walk right up to, you know, and this is right off of Highway 90. And we've never done the interpretive trails, and the interpretive trails are pretty cool, and so the basics of it is there's like a series of trails that you can go walk around on, and in situ look at petrified wood of different species, and it is kind of behind bars. They're behind bars to protect them from people, and you know, we didn't walk the whole thing, but we're definitely going to walk the whole thing. So I have a listing for that locality up on the website now, and that was cool. That was good to go see, as well as there's some other listings up there that are fresh. I would recommend it. Now, to see some of this type of material up close, you can go up to Saddle Mountain, which is, you know, it's not right there, but it's kind of right there, and pick up some petrified wood for yourself. And these are two pieces of petrified wood that I collected up at Saddle Mountain, not from the Trees of Stone Interpretive Trail. You can't collect there. Don't collect there. Go up to Saddle Mountain and get yourself some stuff. Now, the mineral replacement on the Saddle Mountain wood is often pretty good. You know, it ranges between entirely agatized, entirely opalized, to, you know, where you can barely recognize this stuff, to specimens like this, where we have beautiful end grain that you can see. And in this case, also bark. So, very cool to see these types of pieces. And it's kind of, I mean, they're kind of prime examples, right? Like, I mean, that's just the rings of the tree right there. So, but yeah, these are two pieces in my collection that I really like. Thus, the bottoms are cut off and they can kind of stand places, and I like that. You know, I try to preserve my very limited shelf space by doing things like that. So it's funny how, you know, we've spent so much time in the state of Washington, and there's still things like those interpretive trails to go explore. But it's cool that they labeled the different species. Highly recommend it if you're able to go about and take a little walk. Now, I also got a couple of, couple of handfuls of little specimens in the mail this week from Kyle over there, World of Rockhounds Kyle. And, well, we got 3 little zeolites here of mostly unknown origin. These are from India, and we have some blue chalcedony with a fibrous zeolite, either naturalite or mesylite. And that is a hard one to exactly determine what it is that you're looking at. Also, it's extra hard for me because I am not a big Indian zeolite guy. That's not my thing, you know. Northwest zeolites, natural zeolites of the Pacific Northwest, I am all about. But these guys are harder. They are harder, especially when it comes to taking photos of some of these. Now, I would like to show you 3. I have 3 specimens, but I want to show you 2 photos. And this is kind of goes to what I'm talking about with this. So, the photos that you're about to see have a 2 millimeter field of view. And this is one thing that I think people don't really understand, the scale here. So we'll use millimeters, even though it's the very inferior metric measurement. Are we going to focus? So very small, okay, that gap there, the gap between that 2 mil. Now, that is a small thing to take a photo of. So here are those photos, and they're extra hard because we have something that is very brightly colored, bright blues and greens, with transparent, translucent, naturalite, mesylite fibrous zeolite, and you get chromatic aberrations because it is so small. The entire picture here is 2 millimeters. So yeah, things get a little rough when you start getting down to that size, which, you know, that's the way some of this goes. Like, it takes a very expensive setup to break that 1 millimeter field of view barrier. I'm probably never going to do it. I'm happy with where I'm at with that. And but yeah, these are cool pieces. I wish I knew more about Indian zeolites, but in the meantime, I will label them and I will catalog them, and I can always come back to them at a later date when I have a better, deeper understanding of the zeolites that come out of that country. Also, check out this little sphere, little sodalite sphere. Pretty cool, and it is UV reactive, which goes along nice with my new book. Thank you. So I believe this is from Josh, and these ones are from Kyle. So, you know, it's nice to add some beautiful little perkies to the collection. We got to talk about the laps. We got to talk about these things, okay? So, if you didn't see the video, I suggest you go check it out. Testing out these electroplated laps. First off, the contaminated 1200 grit lap, I did get a new one from High Tech Diamond. Thumbs up to it. No contamination. It is good to go. And I think there's a couple of things going on here. So we have 2 different types of contamination here, if we can catch it on camera. So we have nickel matrix globules of extra diamond in here, as well as some very coarse diamonds, and that just does not, that can just happen. And I was surprised, a number of people left comments talking about 1200 grit topper discs, being a contaminated product from multiple different brands. So I wonder what is going on there, why we have matrix globbing up, diamonds globbing up, and, well, I mean, in this case, there's like some super coarse, you know, like 180 grit diamonds on it. But there's no such thing as the perfect device, perfect lapping disc. Now, there's things that how to say this? It is a topic that a lot of people have a lot of opinions on. We'll put it like that. Because, we got electroplated, there's rare sintered discs, there's, different discs, a lot of different laps for faceting. When it comes to us lapidaries, mostly working with, rocks, we have these resin discs are quite popular, and I think we should, since I have this new one here, well, mostly new one, I thought we could look at it under the microscope real quick, because I think people don't realize what these actually look like and what they are, and I think, well, this thing should shed some light. Let's get this guy recording. Okay, so that's what that looks like. You can see a bunch of fibers and a bunch of diamonds. That is a 220 grit disc. Are we focused here? I have such a hard time with focusing on this thing. You can see the little green CVD diamonds. And the problem with these discs is when something gets caught in it. Now this is a very clean disc. We can move this guy around and you can hold on to your lunch. There's no fragments in this. Now when it comes to doing stuff that might have like be crumbly or fractures in it, that's a problem. You can get wrapped up in those fibers because you can see the fibers, they go like, it goes deep in there. If you get like a little piece of quartz or something to that effect trapped in those fibers, well, it's not going to come out. And one of the problems that we have here with this is what you use after that. That could be, like, let's say, a piece of obsidian. If you have a piece of quartz, little shard of chalcedony, something like that, stuck in this lap, and that thing's whipping around, well, you're gonna know. You're gonna know by the deep scratches that comes in contact. So there's really no perfect lap. There's laps that we can use within guidelines. Now, as far as the electroplated laps, I was quite surprised at the actual kind of finishes produced. Now, I didn't touch up the 1200 that's damaged because I wanted to save it for this, but here is the one that was done with the resin. I mean, it's very nice. Okay. And then now the electroplated one is shiny, except it does have those deep grooves from that contaminated disc. And that's what that looks like. So interesting, I've never seen anybody do a direct comparison like this before. There we go. Yeah, you can really see the quality difference. But that, once again, this one down here is because of the contaminated lap and not because of anything else. But even still, if you can look past those deep scratches for a second, well, you can see that it is shiny. And that's in thanks to the carpet wheel. But yeah, I'm going to be playing around more with these. I'm going to save this as a example of a contaminated disc. And it's also nice that high tech is just like, oh yeah, we'll send you another one. Don't worry about it. What are you going to do, right? That's the way things go. At least they're very chill and very cool with it. Well, since you guys made it to the end, I'm going to let you in on a little thing that I have going on. You know me, I love my lapidary journals. The now defunct magazine. Well, I'm producing a lapidary journal archive. I'm producing an archive of it. Stay tuned for that. I think it's going to be really good. And with that said, everybody, we will leave this one here. Stay tuned this coming week. I have an awesome video for you. Maybe there'll be 2 videos. We'll see. All right. Y'all take care. I appreciate you. Thanks to everybody over on Patreon that make this type of content possible as I make pennies here on YouTube.